if you hate Tennessee and you hate Nashville, maybe you should not run for Congress to represent Nashville. Welcome aboard.
I hate country music.
So, Jeremy, you brought up this topic. Why don't you talk about it?
Well, I just think it's kind of hilarious that you have this Democrat who is running for Congress, and her name's Aftyn Behn, and she publicly, multiple times, has said that she does not like the state she's in. She thinks it needs to fundamentally change. She thinks everything needs to happen. She has said that country music makes her cry. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't have to like country music just because you're from that state, but you really don't want to say that in front of all the people who do.
You know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I don't know if you have any proof. This sounds like a Republican mudslinging and lies. Unless I see proof that she actually said some of these things, Jeremy, I have to really say, this is just modern day mudslinging, and I think you're wrong. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait a minute. I get to say this line.
Go for it.
Can you roll that beautiful Behn footage?
Sure, here we go. All right, this is Aftyn Behn. Here we go. Enjoy.
Republicans decided that they're going to start this narrative that me, the state representative who represents downtown Nashville, doesn't like the city.
Because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal taverns, I hate country music, I hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently.
Jeremy, what do you think?
I hate lawns.
Okay, beyond that,
no,
I think this is a big problem. What do you think? Tell me your thoughts.
Here's the interesting
story.
thing. Yeah, here's the interesting thing. She's running for this, and she's said all these. Now, obviously, she hasn't said these things since she started running. And I agree. You could have a change of heart. You could say, I really didn't like this, and blah blah blah. Like I want to say it was Ben Franklin, but I could be wrong. You're not a conservative till you have something to conserve. And so it's possible she's changed her mind, but she keeps doubling down saying she's never done this. But we have video, we have tweets, we have all these things, we have recordings that she has said these things, she has done these things. If she turn around and say, listen, that was me before and I've really changed my mind, enter in Biden, enter in Clinton, enter in anybody you want that says, I just decided, just like you were a liberal and you decided to be a conservative. But she isn't. She is absolutely saying, I never said those things. I didn't do those things. There is documented proof. Now, here's the scary part. She has a chance of winning in a state, in a county, in an area where she really shouldn't be able to, just by going by the demographics. And the reason why is because there's a special election on, I think it's the 2nd, which would be a few days from now.
Let me look it up while you're talking.
And that tends to have an unbelievably bad voter turnout when they do these special elections. And so it's very possible she could win with single digits in the voting. And that's really the issue is, I think it's the 2nd or the 5th. I think it's the 2nd. That's the real scary part. And that's how, quite honestly, a lot of these things happen. When you talk to some of these people, and you really research and deep dive this, you find out that it was under a special election. It was under a city election, and they got kind of their roots and their teeth in, and then they worked their way up. And it didn't matter what they thought. It didn't matter what their platform was because nobody showed up to vote.
Well, here's the thing. Nashville, if I remember right, off the top of my head, I haven't looked it up, is a blue city, correct?
It is blue, but to be brutally honest, they don't always vote blue.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, first off, the election, like I thought it was, I wanted to look it up. It is this coming Tuesday. So it's 48 hours from the time we're recording this.
Yes.
This election will be done.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock at night right now.
It's already December 1st there.
It's already December 1st there. So really there's one day. So number 2, here are the polls. 48% for Matt Epps, which is the Republican, 46% for Aftyn Behn, 2% third party, and 5% undecided.
Now, can I ask something before you read that, before you finish that poll?
Well, hold on. When undecided voters' leanings are included, the poll shows 49% for Van Epps, the Republican, and 47% for Behn. Go ahead.
Who did the poll? That's always important.
True.
And how many people are in the poll?
Emerson College polling and The Hill. Give me a second to look at. I think Emerson is left-leaning.
Well, I know The Hill is.
The Hill
Isn't
definitely
that's
is. The Hill is definitely left-leaning. So I'm assuming it's a left-leaning poll.
And that's always the problem. And the one thing that I thought was interesting, this doesn't come from me. It comes from a sociologist that was Redlands University, which is a very left-leaning university where I got my master's degree. He had said that the problem is there are certain sociotypes of people who take polls and take surveys, and they tend to lean left. And it was actually part of my master's thesis when I was doing all that, was because they'd warned us that you have to be careful where you go and where. And they used the example of, if you go to, we have these grocery stores called Sprouts around here, and they are very, very left-leaning populations of that grocery store. You will not get a Trump supporter. Well, I shouldn't say that. You won't get many Trump supporters showing up to that store compared to Hillary supporters.
Agreed.
And so you have to be careful with where you do that. Now, where would you do otherwise? Well, you would do half your polling, quote unquote, at Sprouts, and you would do half your polling at maybe another more conservative area of a grocery store or something like that. And you'd have to always take those kind of things into consideration. And I wonder, when you look at these polls, where was the poll at? Was it an online poll? And if it was an online poll, how were they targeting? Because that's a big thing too. I learned that just from doing my master's thesis, because I had to be so careful.
Well, that falls in line with typically Democrats, when they're being polled, they need to lead by about 3% for a couple reasons. One, there is that bias in polling that the left will respond more than the right. But also, two, people tend to talk more Democrat because they want to hide what they're feeling, because there's this false narrative that if you're conservative, oh, those are the bad guys, and the liberals are the people who are accepting of everybody, which is absolutely not true. But also, conservatives tend to vote, where liberals tend to, yeah, I'm going to vote, kind of, sort of.
No, that's actually been the opposite.
That's been changing. That has been changing.
Yeah, Obama changed that. And actually, I would say, and what's that magazine that I'm sure you subscribed to a long time? Oh, Rolling Stone.
No, I never subscribed to Rolling Stone.
I assumed
never
you
did.
Just because of your old rocker and everything, I assumed you kind of followed that a little
I
bit.
saw some issues, but I never subscribed to it.
Rolling Stone, and there was another one, all went and pushed really hard during the Obama election to get all these kids on board and everything, and they got all these rock stars. That was really where that started, is the first Obama election. And that was the deal. They were pushing those, and they got people to vote, and they are actually the ones that are credited. That was that 2004 election, is that right?
Yeah, and I think there was other things like
Obama was 2004, right?
Obama was
2008.
2008.
8 was his first term.
2008 and 2012.
That was where the Democrats got credited for getting such a young vote, because most of the time young people wouldn't vote.
Yeah, but now the youth vote
and they've stuck
is
to it.
moving. We've got some of the most conservative youth vote today that we've ever had in the history of this country.
Well, we have more conservative youth, and it's interesting now that we have more conservative youth. They're still voting, and that's the benefit. So we almost have Obama to thank for that, getting those young votes.
You know what? I think you have a point. For once, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Congrats. Feel the emotion.
I do.
Doesn't it feel good to be told you might be right?
Well,
And it hurts me to say it.
I know.
It really hurts me to say it.
I know. But don't worry. You'll get used to it.
So what's your advice for Tuesday's election? I would say, yeah, come on. If somebody hates you and has gone out and said, yeah, I really don't like these guys, I would say don't vote for them. But what do you think?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like pedal pubs either, mostly because I don't like beer. But
What?
Oh, pedal pud?
I don't know.
Nashville got famous. They actually had like this like bar. I think it seats like 8 people, and you're supposed to pedal kind of like those group bicycles. And it's literally like rolling down the street, and you pedal, and they serve beer. I know it's wrong on a lot of levels, but the most
on
biggest
one of those
level
big
is
tandem bikes where so many people have to pedal, and while you're pedaling, you have to drink.
I've never been there, so I don't know this, but I understand the concept. And yeah, and as a guy who can't stand beer, but I don't mind pedaling. I really like pedaling.
You know, I've gotta be honest. That sounds like a terrible idea, but apparently it's working.
Well, I don't think they're driving. I think they're just the powertrain.
Well, no, the powertrain. But I'm just thinking, like, you know, if you want to go get a beer, you want to go to a bar, you want to go meet people, pedaling is not really the way I would see doing it.
You know what, though? That's because you're out of shape, and you don't want women to see you out of shape.
No. I've actually been losing weight, getting back in shape. I've been doing. Screw you, Jeremy. Screw you.
No, but seriously, listen. Pay attention. Don't pay attention to what they say when they think that they have something to gain from you. You know, she obviously is saying things that will make sure she gains whatever she needs from you, which in this case, it's a vote. Pay attention to what they said before that. You know, I always say that, you know, if this person has a public track record, look at it a couple years before they ran for office. What were they doing then? That's what you want to base your vote on.
Well, let me give you devil's advocate. J.D. Vance.
Okay.
Years ago, back in 2016, did not like Donald Trump. He did not like him at all, spoke out against Trump, and then he changed. But that did take time, and he's now come out and said, yeah, I said this before, and I've changed my mind. I was wrong. I see things in him now.
But this is 2024.
It's 2024, and you could change over time. But if she was saying this 5 weeks ago or 5 months ago, and now she wants your vote, you'd have to be crazy to vote for her.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I'm hoping that everybody gets out and vote. I want everyone to vote. I don't care if you're against me or for me or what. I want everyone to vote. I would love to see an honest 100% voter turnout. But you have to do your research. You can't just show up and go, well, that's a pretty face.
Well, hopefully the Republican wins on Tuesday. 48 hours from right now, as of this recording, we will find out, and maybe we'll do a follow-up on this.
Okay. We can make that work.
Oh, if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below. Who do you think should win this election? Should it be the Republican? Should it be the Democrat? Do you not care?
And with that, we'll see you at the next stop.